All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And I still haven't decided which platform to put this on. Am I going to put it on Patreon or YouTube? I guess we'll see when we upload it. Oh, and by the way, I want y'all to see some new caps that I'm going to be sporting here. Check it out. Embroidered Hebrew. And then check this one out. This is a dark navy blue one. And this is a black one. New Era. Let me see that tag over there. Yeah, give me that. And I'm not advertising for them. I just want to show y'all which one I'm doing, because when I went to that hat store today, lids. I think Daniel Muir and them know the guy who actually owned the company at one time and then sold it. But you can get a New Era hat fitted cap. And I got this in here. This is my new sporting style right here. It says Hebrew. And then I also have a black one right here with New Era that has Israelite embroidered on it. And the brand that I'm using, because I don't like that flat bib stuff. I think it looks stupid, but that's just me personally. Don't mean to offend a bunch of people. But the brand that I'm using is the 3930. That's what came on the cap. So that's the brand of cap that I'm using from New Era. And I know that many people are going to be asking, where'd you get that? It's just that I went in there and I bought just a regular black cap, and I had this embroidered, and it cost me actually $5 more to get it embroidered. So, hey, might as well sport who I am even more so. Most people don't know, so they need to know anyway. But anyway, this video right here, blind allegiance. Blind allegiance. As hypocritical as a lot of people are, there are a lot of people that love to accuse anyone that is submitted to someone in authority, especially when it comes on the religious front. People who are blindly following someone, but they don't have. I keep telling you over and over again, most people don't have the mental aptitude nor the vocabulary to be able to articulate what they're trying to say. So I'm just saying it for them. I'm saying it for everybody else who seem to be absent of words. But it's called blind allegiance. But what they do is they flip the script. They twist it around, and they don't really truly tell you the truth of what they're really truly meaning, because they don't even know what they're meaning. But if you're going to accuse someone who's in a leadership, especially when it comes to, and I'm using the word religion to try to cover a vast area, a broad area. And I mean people who are following some type of discipline or faith. But it's amazing how that whenever you start keeping the commandments, living set apart, change your lifestyle for the better, and do that which is right in his sight and stuff, you are accused of following someone. And they're either brainwashing you, or they're controlling you, or they're manipulating you. But all up until that point, when you were doing whatever your family wanted you to do, or your friends, or your colleagues, or your associates, or your acquaintances, or your constituents, or whatever superlatives you want to put with it. Whenever you were doing what they were doing, running to the same excess ride of living and stuff, at that time, nobody was throwing up on you, you're in a cult. Nobody was telling you that you were blindly following people without using self-autonomy and making your own choices and decisions. But then these same people that point the finger and accuse you of actually having blind allegiance to someone, they themselves actually expect your allegiance to them. And that's what's so hypocritical about it. Again, being in the military and stuff, and actually going through a couple of schools, special skill schools, I guess that a lot of people who are unsuccessful in the military would call the people who are successful in the military being blindly following leaders or blind allegiance. Well, the truth is there was orders. There was a chain of command. And anytime you're obeying them to have a rule over you, like the book says in Hebrews, submitting yourself because they watch for your souls, there's no thing such as blind allegiance. It's just like out here. And just like in the military, you don't have to follow an unlawful order. If it's an unlawful order, you don't have to follow that. But I've never, and I'll say it again, I've never once have heard of anyone ever complaining of somebody receiving an unlawful order in the military. I'll give you a story with Kabir Bajabil Amelia. You know, it's no secret that the ministry, we have quite a few retired football players in the ministry. Brother Kabir played for Green Bay. Robert Mathis, who played for the Indianapolis Colts. Matter of fact, he's going to be inducted into the Indianapolis Colts Hall of Fame more than likely this October, November of this year, in which I'm invited to actually go there to be right alongside of him when they unveil his name in the Ring of Honor in the Indianapolis football field up there. And well, he's going to be there, and more likely next year he's probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer because he's the all-time strip sack leader. Well, Robert, bless you, man. Stay strong. Then we also have Daniel Muir, who played for a few teams, the Jets, the Raiders, the Packers, and the Colts. As a matter of fact, both of them, Daniel Muir and Rob Mathis, they're up there in Indiana. And it's amazing how that everybody so-called loved you when you play football, but as soon as you start keeping the commandments, all of a sudden you're scrutinized, you're hated. It's all kinds of stuff. You know, it's something spiritual. When you start keeping the Sabbath, when you start keeping these commandments, you start living set apart. There's something very spiritual about it. And then we have TJ, Trevor Clemens, who's the only offensive player that actually played in the NFL that we know of right now. He played offensive tackle, a mountain of a man, for the Minnesota Vikings. And then we have Frogman, who's a Navy SEAL, who was actually one time was in the NFL. I forget what happened. I'm gonna get the scoop from him one time. Get the scoop from Frogman. But in this ministry, you know, we have people that have retired, people that have been in serious disciplines. We have SEALs, Rangers, paratroopers, professionals. Some play collegiate sports. You know, and the one thing they said about Kabir was they said, well, he's a company man. Then you think about this for a second. If they accused Kabir of being a company man because he was obediently following what the coaches said in order to make him successful, and he was very successful because he is actually in the Ring of Honor at the Green Bay Packers. He has his name up there, Kabir Bill Amelia. Now, my question is this. This is my question. He was successful because he followed orders. He followed the commands of what the coaches told him to do and made him a very successful defensive football player. And he made a lot of money in the NFL. Now, usually all these people that are criticizing, that are putting forth the finger, they don't have nothing, no accolades or nothing to show you where their success came from. And you know the reason why? Because usually the people that's pointing the fingers and criticizing have no self-drive, no self-determination, no true grit about themselves. They have nothing in them that leads them and drives them for perfection. But someone is always being used as a tool for Satan. You know, people submitted to him, ministers, his own ministers, to try to always drag down and bog down and try to spit venom and poison and fire into the ears of those who have self-determination, who have a drive, who want to succeed, who want to receive the ultimate prize, which is the kingdom of Yah, not let nothing deter them. So it's really not blind allegiance. It's called the order of things. It's called the chain of command. It's like when you go to work, you're going to do what you're told. So can we call you a cult? Or can we call you being submissive to being blind allegiance? Because if the manager tells you to stock that shelf, guess what? You're going to stock that shelf. The dispatcher tell you that you're going to take this load and you're going to run it over here. You're going to do that, and you're going to be there on time too. Because if not, you're going to suffer the consequences. So you see, there are people that are always trying to manipulate and coerce the facts and things and stuff in order to try to put a stigma on those who are doing right. That's like a wife submitting herself to her husband. You know, the family might saying, well, what happened to your mind? Well, she's in a role and she's doing her role and she's pretty successful at doing it. And then how you know she's successful? Because she's still married and has a successful family, and usually the people that are criticizing are not. So you have to take it with a grain of salt when you listen to people who are doing this. And if the ones that are married, there's probably the chance, more likely the chances are the man is not the head of the house, because Jezebel is still on top of her goat mountain. It's not going to relinquish any power. So you see, there's a cause and effect for everything. But I hope it says something to stimulate thought here this morning. Put a defibrillator on the people's mind to try to bring a little bit of education But let me tell you something. Anything that you're in this world, I don't care what it is, you will always be under someone's authority, and you will be in authority. That's just the order of things. You think when we get to the kingdom, you're going to have a providence if you make it there, and you're not going to be under authority, headship, rulership? Not going to be like that. Anyway, have a wonderful evening. Blind allegiance.